All right, and everybody can get out your calculator if you need it, even though this should already be done. All right, can everybody see the board pretty good, or do you want to turn out the lights? Can you all see good, or do you want to? It seems like there's such a glare. You can see good? Okay. All right, so here we go. So if a train travels 325 miles every 5 hours, what is the unit rate? Now, again, remember, this right here is a key. This is how you do it. You take the miles and divide it by the hours. Isn't that a good trick? It tells you miles divided by the hours. So you just take 325 and divide it by 5. 325 divided by 5. And that worked out to be what? Yes, 65 miles per hour. Which rate has the same unit rate? All right. So if I can do 8 books in 12 weeks, right, what you're going to do is divide 8 by 12. All right. And on your calculator, that should come out to be 0.6 repeated, right? So now, which one is the same as 0.6 repeated? Say it again. Yeah, if you do 3 divided by 4.5, that would be 0.6 repeated. So the answer is D. All right, speak up if you don't know something now. Speak up if you don't know something. Everybody good? All right, here we go. Cross multiply divide. 4x equals 3.6. Divide by 4x equals 0.9. Everybody happy with that? Good? All right, number 71. A chili recipe calls for 6 pounds of ground beef for 25 servings. How many pounds of ground beef for 30? So I have 6 pounds to 25 servings. Now I write it like that so you can see the proportion. 6 pounds, we don't know x is to 30. And then you cross multiply. So you have 25x equals 180. So is that what, 7.2? Is that what that is, guys? Somebody do 180 divided by 25. Is that 7.2? All right, 7.2. Correct answer is B. Audrey used a scale of 1 inch to 5 feet. Well, that's easy. If 1 inch is 5 feet, then 2 inches must be what? 10 feet. Does anybody need help on that? That's just easy, right? It's easy. All right, here we go, 73. Suppose a model of a commercial airplane is 11.5 inches long and the actual length is 230 feet long. So again, we're doing 11.5 inches is equal to 230 feet. All right. Now, over here, you have the actual scale, right? So you have to be real careful. Let's look at B. Does B make any sense? Does 20 inches equal 20 feet? That doesn't make any sense. All right. Now, if I divide this by 11.5, watch. If I divide this by 11.5, divide this by 11.5, this gives me 1 inch is equal to. Somebody tell me what 230 divided by 11.5 is. How much? 20. So 1 inch is equal to what? 20 feet. So that's how I knew the answer was C. Right? Does that make sense? Everybody okay with that? Everybody good? All right. Now remember, triangles that are similar have the same angle measure. Their sides are proportional. So now just to review, AB from this, I want to blow this up so everybody can see it. So AB corresponds to what? FG. That's correct. And then BC corresponds to what? GH. And the last one is, of course, AC corresponds to what? FH. Now that just means they're proportional, right? So I'm looking at AB. AB is 10. So what does AB correspond to? So what is FG? There you go, 15. And so now we can just say that's equal to 16 over X. Is everybody okay with that? What? No, you don't have to. Some people just, I want you to be good enough, you don't have to do that. I'm just explaining everything again. You with me on that? So if you need to, you could do that. So 10X is equal to what's 15 times 16? And then divide by 10. So X was what? 24. Does everybody agree with that? Oh. And wow, I didn't have to find that, did I? No, that was kind of silly, but that's good that we did it anyway. All right. So which segment corresponds to BC? BC corresponds to what? BC corresponds to, yes. Which angle is congruent to G? B. Now, very well could be solved for X on the test. Is everybody with me? So that's why I don't mind that we solve that for X. Anybody have any issues with that? Okay. So 76, another nice little proportion. Remember, 15-foot pole casts a 7.5-foot shadow. Now this casts an 11-foot shadow, so the 11 goes where? On the bottom, right? And X goes on the top. So now we cross multiply. 7.5X equals 165. Everybody good with that? Then we divide by 7.5, divide by 7.5, X equals 22. Everybody good with that? All right, now this is the one you had to be careful of. All right, does everybody agree 45 corresponds to 189? Is everybody good with that? So it's got to be 36 over what? X. But I want to show you, these are kind of written the opposite way that sometimes you think. Right? Yes, KK. Yes, you can. It's the same answer. Very good. It doesn't matter how you set the proportion as long as you have the side set up properly. You can do that also. You want it to be over here, right? So let me show you. Thank you for asking. Look up, please. She has a good question. Good question. Now watch what I'm showing you. Do you see how this X side, if I wanted to, I could mark this as 3. Do you agree with that? Because it's different. Notice this would be 3 down here also, right? X is between 2 and 3. 36 is between 2 and 3. You see what I'm saying, right? That's what you mean by corresponding. You good? All right, now cross multiply and divide, guys. You're gonna have to help me with this one. So everybody take your calculator. Go 36 times 189 and then divide it by 45. Somebody said 151.2, but double check him, please. All right. All right, let's do 78. Now the same kind of principle here. All right. So this angle right here, please watch, is equal to this angle, which means this angle has to be equal to this angle. You see, it's kind of the same principle here. So 3.2 over 4.8. Everybody's got to watch. 3.2 over 4.8 is equal to. Now, this is same. Do you see what I'm saying? This corresponds to this. So it would be 3.2, 2.8 over x. Does everybody agree with that? Cross multiply, divide for me, please. I need help. X equals what? How much? 7. Now, I don't think it's 7. How much? Yeah, it's 4.2, guys. Come on, I'm telling you to do the work. I don't want the answer. You have to cross multiply. Everybody take the calculator and do 2.8 times 4.8 divided by 3.2. And that answer is 4.2. But that's not the answer to the question, right? This was 4.2. The question is, what's the distance from Michaela's to Dora's? What? That would be 7 because you have to add them together. This is the one that everybody makes a mistake on the test because they just write 4.2 and don't answer the question. So I'm giving you a hint. Make sure you review that. KK, do you understand what I just said? Yeah. All right. Now we can say 9 over x equals 10 over 30. 10x equals 270, so x is equal to 27. Any issues with that? Okay, 44%. Remember, that's where we did the percent over 100. Let's review that. Percent over 100 is over of. That's one method. So that would be 44 over 100. The of is 50, so that goes on the bottom. X goes on the top. So that answer was what? A. Now, I don't like that method because I think you guys are going into algebra. You should know equations. So look at 81. 75 means what? Equals 125% written as a decimal is 1.25. Of means times. What number is your variable? And now we just divide by 1.25. Divide by 1.25. So x is equal to, somebody help me. $50. 60 or 50? 60. Come on, don't let them do it. Practice on your own calculator. Divide it out. And do not forget a calculator because I don't have extras. All right, 82. It says here 36 of 80. That just means literally 36 out of what? 80. Did I agree with that? 36 out of 80. Now, everybody do the division on that, please. Everybody just do on their calculator 36 divided by 80. And what does that come out to be? 0.45, right? Which is the same as what? Correct answer is A. Of 80 fathers surveyed, 33 said they'd like their lawns mowed for Father's Day. What percent is that? So it's just literally what? 33 out of 80. Somebody divide that for me. It comes out to be 0.4125. Is that what you're telling me? Which is the same as 41.25%. All right, that's why you need your calculator tomorrow. Results from a survey show that 36% of dog owners say their dogs sleep in the family member's bed. If 12,500 dogs owners were polled, how many of them made this claim? So 36% of the dog owners. How many dog owners were there? 12,500, right? So we're doing 36% of 12,500. 36% is what decimal? Of means multiply by 12,500. Anybody else get 4,500? All right, 85, here we go. Which equation can be used to find, okay, I like this. What percent yeah, I kind of made a typo here when I write this. Which equation can be used to find, yeah, I messed that up, guys. 18, here's how I want you to write it. 18 is what percent of 125? 18 is what percent of 125? That's how I want you to write it. Sorry, I butchered that one. So now 18 is X times 125, which is which one? B, right? Does everybody agree with that? Sorry about that, guys. Make sure you make that correction. Okay, now someone was asking me about the estimates. All right, you have a calculator, so it should be pretty easy for you to figure out, but I don't want you to use your calculator. All right. Now, does everybody remember 10%? You move the decimal to the left once, right? So 10% of 385 would be 38.5, right? So 1%, you move it twice. So 1% is equal to 3.85. Everybody okay with that? And then what? 0.5% is just half of that. And so this is close to what number? 4. So 0.5% is just half of 4, which is about 2. All right. So that's why that is A. Everybody okay with that? What? I don't understand. Well, what did you want to do? No, 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 no. It's not asking what's half of 385. It's asking what's 0.5% of 385. So remember, a half is 0.5. So if I want to do 0.5%, it would be 0.005 times 385. Yes, because you have to move it twice. All right, so 15%. We're just going to go ahead and round this to about 90, right? So 15% of $90. Now remember, 10% is what? $9. So 5% is equal to half of that, which is 4.5. And so add them together, which is about $13.50. Is everybody okay with that? Anybody have any issues with that? All right, 88. All right, we're almost done, guys. But these are important. Of the 125 country songs, 14 are recorded by female, right? So it's just what? 14 out of what? 125. So everybody do that on the calculator or your iPad, whatever you need to do, just practice. What is 14 out of 125? But you would say 0.112, right? Which is 11.2%. Notice how they're trying to trick you with letter A, right? Okay, 89, here we go. Now, again, I like equations. 28.5 is x times 20. Is everybody okay with that? Now, divide by 20, please. And so x is equal to, someone tell me, 1.425. But is that a percentage? Move the decimal 2 places to the right. Is everybody happy with that? 142.5%. Everybody good? All right. Here we go. So now, if 80%, so I want everybody to write down 0.8 times x equals, now 57, and that's going to be, everybody divide 3 divided by 5. That should be 0.6, right? So that's 57.6, right? So divide by 0.8 for me. And somebody tell me what the number is. 72. But that's not the answer, because they want what? 15% of this number. So now you multiply that by 0.15 and tell me what that is. How much? I think it's 10.8. How did I get the what? 80% means what? 0.8. Everybody okay with this? All right, here we go. During the peak season, the hotel costs 135. Off season, it's 90. All right, so remember, it's always the change. All right, first of all, is this an increase or a decrease? Decrease, so we know it's not B or C. So we went from 135. So I want everybody to write this down. The change divided by the original. The change divided by the original. So I went from 135 to 90. What's the change? 45. What was the original? 135. So now everybody do 45 divided by 135. So that is a 0.3 repeating, which is 33 1/3%. So there was a decrease by 33 1/3%. Everybody okay with that? So now most people forget that formula. So let's do the same formula for 92. The change divided by the original. So from 850 to 1190 is how much? I need some help. What's the change, please? 340. And then we divide it by 850. And somebody tell me what that is. 0.4. Did it go up or down? Up. Correct answer is 40%. Is everybody okay with that? In 2 years, the value of a car changed from 14,000 to 11,200. So is that up or down? So it's not C or D. So what's the change, please? Someone tell me. 2,800 divided by what? That's right, 14,000. Somebody do that for me. 0.2, which is the same as 20%. So those are easy if you know the formula. It's easy if you know the formula, so make sure you got that. All right, so now Evan buys a suit for marked $64.99. He receives a 20% discount. So if he receives a 20% discount, how much did he have to pay? 0.80, correct. So it's what? The sale price is $64.99 times what? 0.80. So the answer was B. Everybody good with this? All right. Interest. Now this is a formula. I equals P times R times T. I don't think I put that on the test, so you got to remember that. Interest is principal times rate times time. So I equals 3,180 times 0.065 times 3.5. Now notice it's 0.065. Multiply that out, please. And somebody tell me. $723. Thank you, Molly. C. Everybody okay with that? All right, so I think that's everything. All right. Again, my advice is just redo these worksheets. Redo them. Nothing's different. It's all the same. All right, you're going to be amazed. All right. Bring a calculator. Do I have calculators for you to borrow? I have none. What? I think it's like 75. All right, plenty of time. All right, plenty of time. All right, my homeschool peeps. All right, hopefully you did, you understood everything I said. And you guys have a great rest of the day, okay?
Okay. Bye, Mr. Stroud. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Bye.